Hello, girls.
Hello.
Hello,
Well,
Hello.
beautiful.
Hello.
welcome back, everybody, to Harmony in the Home. Today, as always, with you, we got Paulina, Guzal, and Aliyah. Hi.
Yay.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask how you're doing, but then I remembered we don't ask that question.
No, I'm not.
We don't. Why don't we ask that question?
Because people
Because
will tell you.
we don't want to know.
We don't want to know exactly.
So if you don't want your man complaining, don't ask him, how are you, honey? Because he'll tell you.
Because usually, actually, we don't care how they are. I mean,
No,
we
no.
don't. We care, but not that much. If they start telling what we don't want to hear, maybe specifically.
Why did I ask that question? Who pulled my leg to ask that question?
Yeah, right.
All right, girls. So here we are, as always, talking about harmony in the home. We're sharing tools from Sage University, and we share our own stories on how we learned them, what happens in our lives, just so that we can share it with the rest of the world. It completely transformed our lives with our men, and so we're on a mission to share it with others. Some will hear, some will not. For the ones that will hear, we'll continue on with these stories. And if you have any questions, let us know. Also, if you'd like to get some more information, you can always check out How to Talk to Men book, How to Talk to Men seminars, and sageuniversity.com for classes. With that being said, today I'd love to talk about SEX. How about that?
Sex about
About
cats.
How important is it for a woman to have good SEX?
Not that much.
Not important at all.
Oh, of course, it's very important.
It's very important. It's absolutely one of the most important things is for a woman to be fully satisfied for her femininity, for her energy, so that she can share with her man, with her surroundings when she's fully satisfied, sexually and emotionally, of course. But we'd like to talk a little bit more to Paulina today because she teaches
Oh no.
how to
Breaking up.
med. So we can see you okay. You're
Okay, good.
I don't want to share. I don't want to share.
No, I'd love to share. Why not? You know.
Just kidding. You don't have to. So let's start with how important it is. Well, what do you know from your seminars and from everything that you do for How to Talk to Men in Bed? What did you notice?
You know, I have this amazing story. Thank you so much for asking specifically about the seminars and the training. So one day we had a 2-day How to Talk to Men in Bed training, and a woman came and she told us a story. She was very frustrated. Like when she came in, she was looking forward for some answers, but she was very frustrated. So her story was that she has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend met this girl, and he wanted the girl to join them. And the girl who came to the training, she didn't want to share him. And she was just saying, like, I don't even know how that's done, and like, it just, in her mind, it just didn't fit, that it's her man, and she was really upset with the girl, and she was really upset with the man, and she said she was probably gonna just break up, and I'm gonna move out because we're living together. Yeah, I know, like So this was the first day of the training. Okay, so we did the training, we did a few role plays, we practiced some of the tools, you know, we shared our stories of love and, you know, our wins and our fails, and all the women shared. I don't know exactly what happened with this girl, but the next day she comes in and she's glowing. She's glowing. She's just like, she's dressed like super sexy. You know, the first day she came in, she was like dressed like all closed up. The next day she's like a dress, or everything is revealed. And she's glowing. And she's like, girls, I cannot wait to tell you what happened. So she said, after yesterday, I don't know, something happened, something opened up to me, in me. I went home and my man was there, and he's like, well, this girl, she's coming over tonight. So we would like for you to stay and join us. And she says, yeah, what the hell? Let's do it. And so she says it was, so we had a few drinks, you know, at first it was a bit uncomfortable, but she said, you know, why not? Yeah, I like him, I love him, you know, I want to be with him. I don't mind this girl. Let's try it. And they had this amazing experience, and she loved it. She loved it. And I was just amazed how, like, from one day a person comes in completely ready to, you know, end the relationship because it just doesn't fit with her, and then the next day she just goes for it, has the most incredible time, you know, feels sexy. You know, she came in, she had like red lipstick, you know, this beautiful dress, and she's just so feminine, she's glowing, magnetic. I mean, like that, she could go out on the street and just meet people, and, you know, create business partnerships, create, you know, new friendships with that glow, you know. And she was ready to give it all up the day before. So how to talk to men in bed is very powerful.
Actually, I think I remember that. I was in that class too, by the way. I remember that girl.
You were,
That's
right? Do you remember?
Yeah, she's totally different. We was like, really? That much?
Oh wow!
It
Oh,
was like
my
totally different person.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what happened to her? She let go, right? There was something that she was holding on to, right? An idea that this is not something for me. I don't want to share him, which is something that happens to most women, right? We meet a man and we're like, claws in, he's mine. I want him to myself. I want this. And men do the same thing to women, right? It's kind of, we call it enslavement in a way, right? Because now you have one person, you want them to love you, you want them to give you only you the attention. And it seems like after the workshop, she let go. She
Yeah.
let go. She
Yeah, it was
hurt her in a
more.
way, right?
Sorry, I broke up a little bit. What did you say?
Oh no,
Yeah.
it broke up for me too.
Oh,
uh,
it's okay. It's on now.
okay, awesome. I don't remember what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about the girl. Yeah, go ahead.
I was asking if she conquered her fear in a way, right? Like by attending the workshop, she had that fear of letting go and trying something new that she hasn't done before. And it seems like she let go of that fear, and then she experienced something unique. And in a way, I'm curious if it's letting go of the fear and conquering the fear that gave her that glow, as opposed to the actual experience, or it could be both, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So the way our seminars are designed, the way Sage Method is that when you come in, when you enter, you are right. You are all right. And you are accepted exactly as you are. And so with her specifically, but with anybody, when you come in, you have a set of beliefs. You know, it's like a cultural thing that, oh, there's a certain way we cannot be.
Yeah.
So when she came in and she shared and nobody made her wrong, she, in a way, it was kind of, she received the permission that it's okay for her to think that way and to even like be curious about that, and to, because clearly she was curious, because that night she went for it. So it wasn't that she in her heart did not want this, it was in her head, in her culture and her upbringing that said, no, you cannot do it. So in the seminar, you are surrounded by women who are accepting of each other, and as you share and you get accepted, then you get to find yourself in like your true desire, your true sensual and sex desire. And then you go for it, and we don't know what it is. We didn't know she was going to do that. We had no idea what was going to happen. We just listened, and she shared, and she was so upset, and we just listened, and we said, got it, yeah, we hear you, yeah. And then we just moved on to, you know, you if you do choose to do that, you can have that, that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. And it seems that it's not that we are promoting specific things, right? It's not that we're promoting to invite other people into this, but it's just whatever that idea is that pops into your head, with the tools, we give feedback. Okay, that lights you up. Sometimes people will come in probably and say, okay, my man really wants to try this. And then you're kind of like, well, you know what? It doesn't light you up. Like, yes, it seems like it's a great idea and he wants something, but it does not light you up.
Mm-hmm.
But then sometimes it's like, oh, you know what? You know what he said I should do? He wants me to play with this toy. And you're like, but it lights you up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't. I've seen
Yeah.
this like, no, it doesn't. That, you know, who does that? Like, I don't need a toy. Yeah. It's like, but it lights you up, so why not give it a try? Yeah. So yeah, I love that. I
Me
love
too.
that.
After these classes, women just allow themselves to do what they really want to do, or even try it, not feel guilty. Like you said, this culture, it's very, very impacting our beliefs, and you think this is good or not, what people will say or something, but you don't have to tell everybody, you just try. And that was really interesting when she, because I saw when even we did like how to talk to men seminar, you remember Aliyah, you were in that class, because first day everybody was so serious, they came, they talking about some problem. Next day, I don't know what happened, everybody like they are femininity, like come back and they are like putting very sexy clothes, they put the makeup on, like lipstick. You remember that, right? Aliyah, even in New York we did,
I was
is
in there. Yeah.
something changing. I think something changed in your mind, or something you start seeing. And like Aliyah, you said, it's not as we just give them permission. Like, okay, I should do it. Reason, like,
I remember seminar. I got back home and I was getting ready for something. So before putting on my regular clothes, I just threw in a long skirt and a t-shirt, but I was already, you know, with my makeup, and I went to a grocery store. And as I'm walking, like I felt like I was floating in the air. And then every time I looked, the men were like looking at it. I'm like, okay. Either I was not noticing them before, or there was some kind of glow. And I just remember I'm walking over to grab something, and out of nowhere, there's a man. He's like, let me get that for you, and grabs and gives it to me in my hands. I'm like, okay. It's a little creepy, right? Because they were coming out of nowhere. Give it to me. Okay. Then I was pulling out frozen vegetables. I don't know why I wanted to pull one from the bottom instead of the top. I could have gotten, but there's a man like jumps in. He's like, let me get that for you. And he's getting it for me. And there was another man. I walked over to the register and he's like, here, please go in front of me. I'm like, no, you only have 3 items. He's like, no, please go. I'm thinking, whoa, what happened to all the men around me?
That lights it up. All that attention for Aliyah.
Right. And I realize now that I love that attention. I've always, I've always been running from that attention because when I was a kid, I was told, don't attract attention for yourself. That's not good. Like, all these men, they're looking at you because they want to do something nasty to you. Like when I was young, all
Oh, yeah,
Ooh, they
right.
do with me? Oh wow. Well,
right?
how come nobody told me before?
Culture story.
Now I think about it, I'm like, oh, really? So that's exciting. But when I was young, 13, 14, and I understand that was made to protect. My mom and my dad were telling me stories. My uncles, everybody was like, "Oh, you got to be careful because sex is really bad, and you're walking around, you're terrified, afraid of them." And then, now it's like, seriously, guys, sex is bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
right.
oh,
No wonder you were working so hard.
oh gosh. And how important it is for a woman, to be fully satisfied. And the drives are different, right? Like some women's drive is really strong. They have to have lots of sex. Sex. It's okay, we can say it. They have to have lots of intimate relationships. They have to have it all the time, right? And then for other women, it's a little bit less. And neither one is right, neither one is wrong. It's just, as a woman, you should feel it. You should feel like how often you need it, and how important it is, because then if, like we were saying, your aliveness comes back,
Mhm.
you know and you're more playful with your man, you're more playful with everyone around you.
Mhm.
um
Yeah, and exploring what it is that you like, and what I've noticed for women, in order to be able to see what they like and what works for them, they need to be in the company of other women,
mhm.
that are accepting of them, that are will listen to them and will not judge them and just accept them as they are. And in the sharing of everything that's working and not working, they find their answers, and they find something they didn't even see before, and like, oops, it just came out. Oh my god, do I really want that? Oh my god. And then everybody's like, oh my god, that really lights you up. And she's like, "Oh, and it's okay, and it's okay for me to try it."
Uh-huh.
And then when you feel that, it's in the vibration, right? It's in that love, it's in the connection, and you feel like, oh yeah, it's okay for me to try that. It's okay for me to try that, and then bring it back to my girls and like share it. Like, oh my god, I just did that. Can you believe it? And the girls are like, yeah, good for you.
Oh, cheer you on.
Yeah, yeah.
you know the One of the coolest things that happened to me when I first came to US, I was 21, and I met my best friend. And I remember, so I grew up in a society where sex conversations were bad. Like, you don't talk about it. You don't talk about it to your mom. You don't talk to anybody about it. So you kind of like have your ideas. We don't watch porn, So I remember I started working at a doctor's office, my best friend, and we're sitting there, and she's like, we became friends, and then she started sharing with me, you know, what happened with her boyfriend, and I'm sitting like, whoa, like, what's wrong with her? And why is she talking so openly about it? Like, what happened?
Mm.
Then I gathered together with her girlfriends, and we're sitting around drinking coffee at Starbucks, and all the girls are sharing their sex stories, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, like, is this a clan? Like, what is this? Right. And
Look
then
at
I
how much
realized,
it lights you up.
Yes, yeah, I was just gonna say that's
Hey,
like
Aaliyah,
what?
maybe you need to open an sex club.
sure. So, and I realized all of a sudden that it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's okay to share. And then I hear stories like, oh, they're doing this. Like, that's okay to do that. And I remember one of them said, look, as long as two people are okay with it, as long as you and him or you and her, like whoever it is that you're with, as long as it's okay for both of you, anything goes. And I'm thinking, that is so true. So
Mm.
it was like at 21, I was born, right? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh. Like I see a halo. Actually, it was not a halo. It was more like, oh,
Yeah. Or like,
like born, like, oh,
Ah.
this is okay to do.
Since then, I do it.
And, well, good. Yeah, and
Right,
that
you.
was a big moment for me. And my next big moment was about 4 or 5 years ago, the first time I went to a toy party. I was like, where am I? Why am I here? And why is this so much fun?
Because that's the toys.
The toys, right? The girls are like, everybody's giving passing around these toys, and the girl is explaining how to use them, and I'm listening like, what? You can do that? Like, what?
Yeah.
The whole time. And the girls are sharing some of the most intimate stories, and I'm thinking
Aw.
like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So it was very, very interesting. And that's when I realized how important it is for a woman to be sexually active and fully satisfied. And, if you need a toy, pick up a toy. If you need a big bag of toys, get a big bag of toys. If you need a suitcase of toys, that's what you need.
Da,
Find,
da, da.
find space in your closet, hide it from others, and
Or don't hide it. That's okay too.
Yeah.
or don't hide it. Like I remember very well when my kid found my bag. Toys.
Look at you light up.
And I was like, I just remember walking in and he's like pulling out the bag. I'm like, no!
Yeah. And it's like, okay, today we start your first lesson.
I ran over and I was like, not the green bag.
Yeah.
I bet he opened green one, right? I bet he opened the green one.
Nah, no, I hid it like really high up in the closet.
Okay.
Gotta keep but there's lots of videos online of kids finding and asking, mommy, what is this? It is just so normal, but we're just so taught not to think it's normal.
Yeah, and I just thought of another thing, because when I came out, right, as and I want to say lesbian because it's okay to say lesbian, but then also a lot of people have this what it means to be a lesbian. Okay, I love men, I love women. I don't identify as anything specific, but because everybody knows lesbian, I say it. But anyway, when I came out, that I decided to call my daughter and tell her before I start my movie, right? Because I didn't want her to see the movie and be like, Mom, what are you doing? Right. And when I was so nervous, and she was like 11 years old or something, or 10. And I call her on the phone and I say, Mia, I wanted to tell you something. And I said, I really love women. And she says, oh, so you're a lesbian, right? I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I know all about that. I said, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, LGBTQ. I was like, okay. She says, yeah, they teach us about this in school.
Wow.
Awesome.
You were like, yes, school is good.
I'm like, wow. And all this time I was so nervous to tell her. I didn't know what kind of questions she's gonna ask, what am I gonna say to her, and she was already there. So if anybody out there like worried about what their children are gonna say, please, your children are so much more advanced.
Exactly. They can teach you, actually.
They can, exactly.
I remember that conversation that I had with my son. He was 16 years old, And, like, since he was about 10 years old, I was telling him that the day will come when he's going to have sex, and just to make sure that he's protected and that no matter what, we'll support him, whatever choices he makes. And I remember when he was 16, we had a conversation. He was like, yeah, my friend so and so, he's dating this guy and then two girls, and then my other friend, yeah, they're a throuple. So it's her and then another girl and then another guy, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, tell me more. Like, what is this? Like, and my first thought was like, what the heck kind of life are these kids living? But then I stopped myself and I thought, like, holy crap, this is so amazing. Our
Yeah.
children are growing up so much more free. And the only thing that, like, with them, the only thing that's so important is, protect yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get anybody pregnant.
Yeah.
And I told him right away, I was like, if you get anybody pregnant, you are taking care of that baby. I don't care if you get married or not, but you are going to get a job or get a business, and you're going to take care of that kid. And don't bring him here because I'm not taking care of it.
You're not even there.
Like, oh, here, I'm
Look here. Don't bring him to where I am.
Yeah, don't bring him to me. Don't bring him to me because you're the one who's going to be taking care of it. Yeah, because I took care of you. Like, I didn't throw you to my mom when I was young too, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not really true. I don't say it that way. I just shared my story. I said, look, I was 18 when I had you, and it was rough. Like, it was not easy being an 18-year-old who wants to still play, who wants to hang out with friends, who wants to go partying, and you can't because you have a baby in your hands. So it's possible, but just know that this is not the easiest route. There's another way. And as long as you know it, you can make your own decision. You're an adult.
I always say you can't put it back, the baby. It's already born. That's it.
Yeah. So pack, guys, pack it.
Yeah.
Pack it.
Check yourself.
Girls and boys, pack it. I'm curious if Ghazal has any stories that she wants to share.
I don't know. I don't think so for now, because I think we are going, because we can talk in the next time because we are over time now, a little bit.
Yeah.
And yes, I have to think about that because I really was listening. Okay, wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Paulina, for sharing. Thank you, Ghazal, for listening. Thank you, everybody else. We'll continue this conversation on in the next one because it is quite interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Have sex.
Yes.
Any way you like it.
Bye.
Okay, girls.